This is Dr. Lawrence Jones with Farm Institute with a milk market tidbit. Looking at the dairy products report that came out last Friday, and I'm recording this on February 6th, 2023. All right, so if we look at the dairy products report, this is probably one of these reports that people pay very little attention to. Uh, it, the milk production report and the cold storage report get a lot more of attention. But what I wanted to do is kind of cover a couple highlights of this. And what I wanted to know is, did we make as much of the products as we should have made? And was the total amount that we made too much or too little? Now, the way I approach this is I use the milk production report to say this is the amount of milk that we have, and if we have that, then how much cheese should we have made and how much butter should we have made. So let's start with cheese. And the way I look at this is I calculate the amount of cheese per milk, and normally we take 10 pounds of milk to make a pound of cheese, and so we can kind of look at it as 6.3, if you will, pounds of cheese out of 100 pounds of milk. Or the other way that I look at it is that 63% of the milk went into making cheese production. Trend I thought would be about a little bit lower from November, about 6.23, but it actually came in at 6.35, so 63.5%. So what did that do to cheese production? It actually brought it up about 14,638,000 from November. So we produced more cheese, and mainly it was because more milk went into cheese. So what happened to the cold storage? We knew that a while ago, and it turns out that cold storage came up by 14,051,000. So these actually are right on top of each other, and that would suggest that the surplus cheese that we made actually just went into cold storage, so it was not impacted by demand. It was more the fact that we'd actually made more cheese. So let's do the same thing for butter, the same kind of scenario. I calculate the ratio of butter to fat, so it's about 22. The trend said it was coming about the same, but actually the dairy products report came in closer to 23, so the same sort of thing. More fat went into butter than expected. And if we compare that to November, it's up by 17,146,000. So if we look at what happened to cold storage, it went up about 16,517,000. So it didn't go up as much as what the production actually did. So again, kind of evidence that we didn't destroy demand of butter in December. So now let's just look at one final thing is what normally happens to butter stocks in December, and these red dots are the previous Decembers, and what would suggest is that we always come up just a little bit, and you can see that December is either near the low of the stocks or it's on its way up. So in fact, everything came in just about as I would have expected it to. All right, so this next week we've got a couple of reports coming out. We got the global dairy trade on Tuesday, the first February National Dairy Sales report, and the crop production report.